Good morning. This is Mornings with Michael for informational and educational purposes only. We got a little late start today. Had some other meetings come up, so apologize for that, folks. But here we are. We got start out with the news first. China's central bank cut interest rates on one-year loans, lifting hope for more policy stimulus to come. And the latest data pointed to darkening economic picture. Cuts one-year MLF rate 10 basis points to 2.65%, injects 237 billion yuan at a new rate, net 37 billion yuan injection. The Fed held its key lending rate steady yesterday, snapping a run of 10 consecutive increases, but cautioned that elevated levels of inflation and resilient job market fading recession risk would likely elicit at least two more rate hikes between now and the end of the year. The full bear spread in American Association of Individual Investors, AAII weekly survey was 22.5 versus 20.2 last year. Bulls rise to 45.2 from 44.5. Neutrals rise to 32.1 from 31.2. Bears fall to 22.7 from 24.3. Now let's get to our sector news breakdown. In consumer, Lennar, LEN, quarter two, adjusted EPS 294 versus estimate 231. Revenues fell 4.3% year over year. AutoZone, AZO, board authorized repurchase of additional $2 billion of company's common stock in connection with its ongoing share repurchase program. Domino's Pizza, DPZ, upgraded to buy from hold at Stifel, predicting delivery sales to stabilize over the next 12 months, while carryout sales grow to new record highs. Kohl's, KSS, upgraded to outperform as it expects new home, decor, and gifting product improved fashion execution and simplified promotion strategy, and pragmatic store layout revisions to drive healthier and more consistent traffic and faster inventory turns. International Game Technology, IGT, announced today it has successfully launched a compelling new 10-game set for Alberta gaming, liquor, and cannabis. TrueCar, TRUE, said it will cut about 102 jobs or 24% of its workforce, and named Jantoon Rajersman, if I mispronounced your name, I apologize, as CEO to replace Michael Darrow. Target, TGT, boosts quarterly dividend to $1.10 from $1.08. On to energy, industrials, and materials. AMMO, POWW, shares rose after reported user growth of 38,000 people per month and marketplace revenue of 64.1 million. Patterson UTI, PTEN, and NexTier Oilfield Solutions, NEX, said Thursday they have agreed to a merger in an all-stock deal with an enterprise value of $5.4 billion. Under the deal terms, NexTier NEX shareholders will receive 0.752 of Patterson UTI PTEN share for each NexTier share owned. Patterson UTI PTEN shareholders will own 55% of the combined company, and NexTier NEX shareholders will own the rest. Safran, SAFRY, is close to a $1.8 billion acquisition of unit of Raytheon Technologies, RTX, that makes flight controls for aircraft and missiles, Reuters reported, citing a person familiar with the matter. On to financials. Bitcoin and Ether tumbled Wednesday afternoon after ongoing concern about central bank monetary policy in months ahead and other macroeconomic uncertainties. Capital One Financial, COF, said May monthly charge-offs were 4.5% versus 2.4% year over year, and delinquencies 3.64% versus 2.22%. Deutsche Bank, DB CFO, said he expected trading revenue to decline this quarter and interest rates near the peak, and the economy is likely to enter a recession. Said revenue from fixed income trading will drop 15 to 20% versus a year earlier when it rose more than 30%. Aspen Insurance, AHL, files 600 million mixed security shelf. JP Morgan, JPM, monthly May charge-offs 1.6% and delinquencies 0.85%. SoFi Technologies, SOFI, downgraded to perform from outperform at Oppenheimer, citing the stock's valuation, now seen capturing its positive outlook. On to healthcare. Coherus Biosciences, CHRS, on June 6, received a notice letter from AbbVie, alleging the company breached its settlement and license agreement with AbbVie's. Coherus sent a response letter on June 11th, denying the allegation in full, requesting AbbVie provide more info about the allegation. Adidas Medicine, EDIT, announces $125 million offering of common stock. And finally, Elox Pharmaceuticals, ELOX, announces final data assessment from phase 2 combination clinical trial of ELX-02 in class 1 cystic fibrosis, CF patients. ELX-02 trial results demonstrated clinically relevant improvement in percent predicted force expiratory volume, ppFEV1, based on final data assessment. That's our news for today. Let's take a look at, see if we got any screens to share. Well, first take a look at our data map. This is where the money's moving on the S&P 500. We got 2.28% into Microsoft. That's a big boost. A lot of money moving, still money moving into technology, some into software, healthcare. Got a kind of a mixed bag. It seems like our growth is, or our rally is moving into other areas and it's strengthening, which is a good sign. So that's a look at the S&P 500 map. Stop the share here. Trying to bring up one of our Oh, here's one of my favorite screens. This is a screen of an annuity. I think most people would be better to be in an annuity. We have a step up the ladder. Once you step up, no matter what the market does, your account does not step down, where the indices do that. Once you step up again, and this is all also in an index universal life insurance policy, which grows tax-free, and when you take out money, you can take it out tax-free, income tax-free. And we can just see right over here, indexes average is 7.57%, and annuity average is 12.58%. They beat it because they do not decline on market downturns. So that's my explanation there. And now let's move on to our other charts. Took a look at Elf Beauty earlier. This is a Bay Area company that has just been roaring successfully. It has an analyst opinion of $125 a share over the next 12 months. Keep in mind, analysts are not always correct. Take a look at the dollar continues to fall. It's dropping precipitously today, down 0.5%. It doesn't look like much, but it looks a lot bigger on the chart than it does on a percentage basis. So let's take a look at gold. Gold is usually moves in the opposite way of the dollar, and the gold is popping up today, up 0.75% to $1.36. Take a look at a small gold issue. Not really moving too much. Canadian gold mining company. Take a look at silver. Silver sold off and is trying to bounce back. I've said many times before, silver is used a lot in production of EV batteries, and the other resource that is also is copper. SCCO continues to move, and this other arrow is really breaking out strong. I felt yesterday was a breakout. And today it just is continuing to move. FCX led the charge with a gap up the other day, and this whole sector is kind of rallying. Let's look at 0TNX. Our yields are pulling back today pretty strongly, so this should be an incentive for the high multiple NASDAQ to continue to move. And sure enough, even though just have to look at this gap from the 50-day moving average. As it continues to expand, at some point, this is going to correct, or maybe it could just pause while the 50-day catches up. Professionals in the market just do not like to see this big of a gap between the moving average. We'll take a look at our volatility index. Volatility has picked up quite a little bit here today, up 1.51%. See what our S&P, even though it's a slight volatility, the S&P continues to trend higher. So once it broke out of the 430 pattern, you can see right here, once it broke out right over here, it's just continuing to trend higher. The Dow Jones has been the weakest one, but it has had quite a bounce today. IWM, which sold off yesterday, is bouncing back today. Let's see where that can move. Now let's take a look what our leading ETFs are doing. Financials bouncing, but they're still below their 200-day moving average. Not much happening there. Energy still below its 200-day. U.S. oil is bouncing today. Some pretty good volume so far in the day. We'll have to continue to watch that. Leading sector, communications, where Google, Meta are found, continues to be strong. It's just, look at that trend. Kind of broke out here, had a slight pullback, and this trend is, here we go. I'm not sure how sustainable this trend is, but it's been moving up. This is the channel pattern. We'll just have to continue to watch that. Utilities. We saw in our S&P 500 map that so money was moving into them. They're bouncing today. Real estate, selling off a little bit, but just basically flat. Can't seem to get above its 200-day moving average. Biotech sold off a little bit yesterday, is bouncing back today. This index is a little stronger in the biotech area. Software just continues to rage higher. This is amazing. Had a little bit of sell-off on one day and then has bounced back and just continued higher. I sold half of HubSpot yesterday and just kind of check that has bounced back. It was down to 500 and now it's bounced back to 520. And our technology area just continues to move higher. Infrastructure looks like we got a little tight, almost 3-day. Yeah, that'd be a 3-day pretty tight closes here. I'll have to continue to watch that one. SMH. Semiconductors pulling back a little bit, but after their run, you would expect that. It's getting close to the green sell zone. Airlines continue to move positive. United Airlines had broken out right over here. It's trended for a long time. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 out of 9 days. And we got, look at that from Delta Air. Yeah, look at all these days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 days in a row up. It's pretty strong. Leisure out of the office. It's pulling back a little bit today. Had a number of days up in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they had 9 out of 11 days up in a row. Industrials, along with the Dow, was up yesterday when the Dow was down and then it pulled back. It's breaking out today. Industrial sector. I think a couple of weeks ago I had said that watch out for the sector. I think it has a possibility to break out. So B. Healthcare sold off yesterday, is trying to bounce back today on pretty good volume. We'll see if it can outlast the sell-off yesterday. Our consumer sector, a lot of sectors are doing pretty well today. Building materials bouncing back. Metals and mining doing well with that copper trade. Copper and gold helping it out. And finally, our housing sector. This has just been amazing. Based on interest rates increasing, they are hoping for the end of the year interest rates to back off. So, but we'll continue to watch that. See what's moving on the market today, where the big money is flowing. You got a Russian software company, not Russian, I'm sorry, Norwegian software company. We had a little bit of a shelf here. And look at that massive breakout and look at that volume. Just incredible. We had a couple of days of high volume on the selling, but this is a lot of professional money moving in. Oracle in the software area continues to shine. Broke out on its earnings and has never looked back. Splunk, data management software, is breaking out today. Huge volume. Amphastar Pharmaceuticals, look at that move. Holy cow. A lot of money moving in here today. Adobe continues its move after its strong earnings. I believe they mentioned AI as well. So anybody mentions AI, it seems to be shining star. CrowdStrike software got a little bit of a move up today and pretty good volume. Technoglass, which had been a huge leader, as we can see, it broke out here. When was that? That was in November, and just has been rising all the time. Look at this strong volume. This is a Brazilian company that manufactures tempered safety and laminated thermoacoustic glass for commercial and residential buildings. Li Auto, Chinese EV manufacturer, continues to shine. Came up here, came to the sell area, sold a little bit off, and now it's continuing its run. Also in the auto manufacturing, we got Ferrari. There we go. Breakout this area. Pretty good volume. EXCM. Dexcom, continuous glucose monitoring system, is breaking out 2 days in a row, pretty strong volume. And let's look at where the money's moving out of today. John Wiley and Sons gap down 13%. Publisher of market textbooks. Progress Software, interesting in the software space, is selling off pretty strong today, 3.7%. Rita Pharmaceuticals down close to 11%. Kroger Company, huge gap down, is trying to fight back. Right now it's only off 2.3%. Symbotic had a big run here, some profit taking. Vertex, down 10.5%. As you can see, investing in stocks is not for the light of heart. Morning after could be a big surprise. CLB, down 3.4%. Dutch company producing patented reservoir description. ANET is selling off. It's trying to hold strong here, so we'll see if it can hold that area, or if it's the remains the sell category. That is although that is huge volume right over here. Finally, the SOX semiconductor is pulling back a little bit. So that's our show for today. Thanks for joining. It's been Mornings with Michael for informational and educational purposes only. Hope everybody has a great day. Go out there, continue to act on your activities and go after your goals, and you will find your ray in the sun. We're all here to support you from a financial standpoint. So if you have any questions, feel free to DM us. Have a great day.